Okay, so anyways, back to where I was. The true history of the planet, that is all about what people consider to be aliens. And, everything is so much different than what people believe and what people are caught up in. I mean, it's so different. It's hard to even, because, this is consciousness. This is consciousness that has the ability to create. And, it is embodied, incarnated to have an experience, to expand itself. In this reality that we have going here, consciousness is trapped. They are being misled, and they are, programmed to focus on other things. I even saw a thing this morning, and it was talking about the left and right side of the brain. And the left side is all about logic, and it cuts you off from that spiritual side, but it's the male dominant kind of. And the right side would be considered the female, the more emotional side. And so they are training people in school to only use the left side, kind of get the emotional side, the side that you feel, you yearn to be something more, to feel connection and stuff, to just, sever that. They don't want that. So, that's part of their whole training in school, is to train that out of you so that you don't have that emotional side, you don't have that connected side, that you are easy to be led around with keywords and stuff. Why they've got all these people worshiping science when they don't even think it through. It just blows my mind. It's like science is meant to be questioned, and it is meant to go through different experiments, to see, like, oh, how many times will this happen? How many times will this happen? Well, what happens if you do this and this and that? And people think, oh, well, let's just worship that. Well, no. Everything is just like, if you are awake, this stuff just blows your mind. Like, it is no logic to it. There's no common sense being used at all. So it is very mind-boggling as to, how do they not have any triggers inside themselves to think for themselves, to use any kind of logic, to use any kind of common sense, to question anything? It is just programmed out of them. And but that is the whole thing about, back when I want to say time began. I guess that's what I hear in my head. Time began here for humanity. Then it was the divine feminine. It was about the goddess, and she would have been the leader. So it would have been more spiritual and emotional and stuff. But I guess it wasn't controllable, and they had to go the other direction where they could just control. These people are so far advanced than anything that we can even understand. So the way they've been doing this is like masterful. How they were able to program and indoctrinate in generations and generations of people, and how they have done it with so much precision and division, and this generational conflict. So history can't get passed on. No respect for anyone other than who's in your generation, and they even divide those people by gender, sexuality, political, everything. Everything is so divided. And that's why it's so important for us to come together. That's why I've said a million times, it's so important for you to start listening to people who you wouldn't necessarily think would have anything that you would need to say. And that is the biggest problem with all of these people, is that they have discounted a certain group of people. They don't matter. Why would I listen to what they say? They are, they don't matter. Well, you cut yourself off from so much information. It's all this limitations, limiting beliefs is, it's just prevalent right now. It's all about limitations. And this is the part of the soul that wants to break free from that. The soul knows it's more. Consciousness knows it's more than what this is. I mean, I say that, but look at how many people are deep in the brainwashing. And, I don't, it's too hard to even figure out anymore, of how, this whole past, a year and a half has been to wake people up. All of this stuff going on has been to wake people up, and the people they're trying to wake up are just more locked in than they were before. I don't see one little, even an inkling of a spark of a thought in them. Nope. They would just soon argue about every fucking thing. They'd argue about this, wish people dead. I mean, oh my God, I just don't get it. But they're going to have a lot to face in themselves. A lot to face. Because, it is being judgmental is why you won't listen to other people. So you have to face that in yourself. Like, I'm a judgmental person. I discount others. I think that others are not worthy, that they don't have any valuable information. It's very judgmental. So that's something that these people have to face in themselves. And most of the ones I know, they think they're the ultimate progressive. Like, oh, they don't judge anybody. Oh, no. They're practically perfect, guys. Practically perfect. So, yeah. But, that's what this whole thing is about, is this having to face yourself, having to face the dark sides of yourself, because that is your opportunity to grow. Stella. Okay, girl. I hear ya. So this is your opportunity to grow and become more than that. And, you can't go further than this. You can't ascend up any higher than this dimension. So all these people who are just brainwashed and just oblivious, they're trapped in this. They're trapped in this cesspool until they fucking wake up, until they start, trying to really understand all aspects of self. Because it's that transition of the, introspection. Is that what it's called? Introspection? Introspect. Man, I'm really bad with words today. It is, that looking at yourself and the self-reflection kind of stuff is what, helps you to grow and to see yourself so that you can release past trauma and pain and you can ascend. Because in the place of, the new world, the new earth, the 5D, the, Age of Aquarius, all the stuff, all the labels, in that, it can't hold that energy of the dense, low vibration. It can't rise. That energy is stuck down here. We are down in its energy. So that energy is separating. It's moving apart from that energy. It's ascending. It's moving up away from this heavy energy. So we are separating from that. But if you're trapped in this, then you're stuck there. You won't ascend. You don't, there's not a free pass to ascension. Ascension is all about healing and growth and evolving. And it's a whole process. And I went through it already with getting a brain injury. Getting a brain injury, I could have just been like, fuck it. They took away my license, took away my job, took away my house, took away all my stuff. You know, it was real easy when you're in the lowest you feel that you are, especially when you had a whole plan and you were doing everything right. You know, you were living by America's standards. Then you lose everything. Then you have to start looking at, like, you start seeing things like, and this was before all of it. You know, I didn't even know about the Dark Knight or any of that stuff. Sorry, she starts licking her legs because they hurt. So I know it sounds a little, ooh, but it's her legs. You know, they hurt. So that's why I'm gonna go get her some more medicine this morning. It's like a couple $100 in medicine again. I just want these med beds. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of advancements for veterinary medicine as well. You know, I don't know about the whole thing because the quantum system, you know, you, like I had said before, those quantum med bed things, from what I understand, you wouldn't be able to just, it's partly your vibration and you healing yourself. So I don't know how that would work with dogs, but I know there's going to be advancements. You know, the technology, they've held us back in the dark ages because they just want to make money off of us. And they don't need to advance. They can live however they want. They don't need to advance us. All they need to do is enslave us, keep us trapped in their system of barely getting by, just working to survive. And, you know, people are breaking free from that. And it's an opportunity to recognize, like, you know, the whole thing, to start seeing it for what it is. And, you know, there's so many people who haven't even gotten to that part yet. But when you get to that part and you have to start healing, yeah, when you lose everything and it just seems like, oh my God, this is hopeless. You just go through that. You know, don't get stuck in it. You know, process it. Don't prolong it. Don't go, you know, get drunk every day so you don't have to think about this stuff. No, you need to stay sober, stay present, and feel the pain, you know, go through it, understand yourself, see, like, you know, why did I make these choices, and why would I stay at a job that I hated for so long? Why did I stay in a marriage when I never was satisfying, you know? All of these different things that people have to face about themselves. And, you know, it's hard because you have to see your weaknesses in order to face these parts of yourself. But that is the process. That is what gets you into the place you want to be. So it is a beautiful experience, but it doesn't feel beautiful at the time. It feels treacherous. And, you know, there wasn't a bunch of people talking about it when I was going through it. I was very isolated and very alone. I had no idea what was going on. You know, and you do start seeing things really different. You start seeing the whole world different. Things start changing. And, you know, it is consciousness becoming aware of itself and becoming aware of the illusion. And, you know, it's a huge process, especially when they've kept people in this left brain of logic and they are cut off from spiritual, supernatural, magic. And, you know, a lot of people are even cut off from their feminine side. You know, there's men who are trained to just be super masculine. You know, it's shameful to have any kind of feminine parts. But, you know, a soul isn't male or female. A soul is a balance of both things. So your soul isn't, you know, that getting caught up in the, you know, I'm a girl, so I have to be a girl. You know, that is part of the illusion, because your soul has no sex. You know, a soul is androgynous. It's, you know, it's, I even heard where they called it, I think, an Enoch or something. It's genderless. And that's what a soul is. But then you get born into a body. And the body is just for the experience. So you can go in and see, well, what is it like if, you know, I'm a girl and this happens and that happens, and how do I affect these people and how am I affected? That's a learning process. And that's why a soul does it. And that's why you go in and you be You play different roles in different people's lives. You play different genders. You play different races. You play everything possible because you want to be the most expanded you can possibly be as a soul. So, yeah, your soul is not, you know, we don't have boy souls and girl souls. That's just the avatar. So it's like the same thing as like a car color or something. It's just the color. So it doesn't really matter. It's what you do with your information. And, part of this whole process of this awakening is to find that balance between your female and male sides of self. So you can, when you get into balance, you are, and that doesn't have anything to do with like, oh, so if I go into balance, does that mean all of a sudden I'm just going to go, want to have sex with everybody, boys and girls or whatever? No. That's another thing that we have to cut loose is this whole sex. Sex has been kind of used and abused, and just like alcohol and all the other things. And we shouldn't even be just having sex just to have sex, because you are in an energetic kind of bond with somebody during that time. So you get their energy on you. You merge your energies. So you can go have a one-night stand with somebody, but they're still going to be on you. You're still going to be carrying like them with you. So these guys that just go womanize, 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 it becomes a part of, like, they have to do it as a distraction. They have to do it to try and, it's the same thing with somebody who's going to just drink so they don't have to think about something. You're going to just have sex so they don't have to think about the last girl. You're just piling them on and piling them on. It reminds me of that movie, The Christmas of Past Girlfriends or something like that. I think it was Matthew McConaughey or something. But it had, all of his past girlfriends kept coming and coming and coming because, yeah, you have got their energy attached to you now. So we have to start taking sex as a lot more serious. But to me, sex would be about love. And, I can't say that, just because you're a guy and you don't think you're gay, that you wouldn't fall for another guy, because it's the soul inside. When you get to a healthier place inside yourself and you release these limitations, then, and you start seeing the soul, and you start responding to the soul and not the shell, then, yeah, you're going to see people in a different way. And, all of this stuff is more of limitations for us, to not get to our true self, to not really experience, about real love and stuff like that. But we're headed into that, is our, where we're headed to. But, I feel like there's so many people who are so caught up in this three-dimensional whirlwind, people who are doing really crappy things to people. And, they haven't even started their healing. And, they may not make it to the whole ascension process. They will, level up in some way. They will learn from this experience, even if they don't understand it during this life. And they will go to their life review, and then they will get a good, tasty look at themselves. And, that's when a lot of people have to learn. Because they, if you're all caught up in the illusion, how are you going to learn anything? So, yeah, it's more pulling back from the illusion. But you have to, see it to know what you're pulling back from. Like, yeah. You have to have awareness. Your conscious awareness has to be aware. So it's making choices and it's healing and everything. But all the people who are going through the process, there is going to be a really great outcome that we're headed to. And it's going to be a really beautiful experience when we get to that part. We're still in the transition. We're still in the opportunity for people to wake up. At this point, I don't know if some of the people just aren't going to wake up. Some people are going to probably fill those body bags before they wake up. And they're going to have to go in and, look at it from that perspective. And, you know, I don't know, you know, all of that whole thing once it gets to that, because there's also that whole thing about the dead will walk with the living on the new earth. So could be that you came in, you were contracted for whatever to teach people this or that, then you die and then you see the truth. And, you know, if you weren't there to learn that stuff, you were just there to teach, then, you know, you would ascend. But, you know, it's just, it's so complex and so complicated, so much more than what, you know, there's so much teaching to go on about souls and about dimensions and about reality and, you know, the purpose and what you're doing and why and everything. There's so much more to learn about that. It's just everything has been just limitations in information, you know, and it's to keep us limited. It's to keep us less than what we are, because we are spectacular. In all honesty, we are far, I mean, you know, some of these people just wish they could be us, you know, because we are consciousness that is, you know, it's expanded, it's brilliant, it is creative, it is beyond what it's beyond what they want us to be, that's for sure. Okay, well, we're gonna have to get going. And so anyways, I just wanted to put those out there today. I might talk later, I don't know. You know, right now I think my stuff is really being held back. So who knows if it, you know, a couple people might see it, but okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.